What's happening now across the Niagara frontier? News stories, old stories, stuff you know about and stuff you'd never believe. It's the NiagaraHub Soapbox with Craig Avery.
All right, welcome. We have Russ Vesci today, a candidate for council. Fresh off the candidate forum at the infamous Rapids Theater last night. I think it went well.
I think it went very well. Like we were just talking about, I wish that personally I could have heard a little better. I have some hearing problems, so I was having a little difficulty on the stage, a little echoey. But other than that, for me, I think it was a good success. For the first time out, I think it was very successful.
Good, good. And well, tell me from the get-go here, how did you decide to throw your hat in the ring? I notice you don't have it on your head anymore, so it must be in a ring.
Got a lot less on my head. I grew up, my father was involved in politics, never ran for office, but he was involved in politics for a good probably 40 plus years. So I always grew up around
this area?
I'm born and raised here. I've never moved away, lifelong resident. I own my home on McKenna Avenue. I live with my wife Pamela. I grew up around that whole kind of political environment. Again, I've been a lifelong resident. In 1992, I started working for the city, which has become the Water Board now, in 2003. So from that point, I've worked on every city street, every block, every alleyway, and I see the decline in some otherwise good neighborhoods over the past 20-some years. 2002, I was elected president of the East Side Block Club, and I served from 2002 to 2004. Worked with the Block Club Council, worked with a lot of citizens throughout the city. So again, I have that deeper understanding at a ground level. I see it every day. I'm out on the streets, I'm out in the neighborhoods working every day. I see what's going on in the city at that street level. Working with the block clubs, I hear the concerns of citizens, not just in my area, not in that in that time period and henceforth, but I hear the concerns of citizens throughout the city. So the combination of that, working with the block clubs, working out in these neighborhoods every day, I complain loud. Mm-hmm. And if I'm going to complain loud, you better be able to do something about it. So, again, with being around politics for that long, I understand that I don't know how it is with outlying communities, but in Niagara Falls, things get done politically. So this is why I've stepped up this year to try to make that difference, to try to get involved, and to try to make a forward movement, a positive movement in the city on that political level.
What do you think you can or would need to do as a member of the council? A lot of them are frustrated. I can't get anything done. Nobody's, either you're the majority or the minority, or you're with the mayor, or you're not, and it's got to be frustrating for everyone in that group to figure shit. No one's listening to them.
Well, I'll tell you a couple of things that I feel personally. Number one, when you draw those divisive lines, majority, minority, I'm with the mayor, I'm against the mayor, you can't please all of the people all of the time. And this is why we have a great democracy, because it is a vote. So I don't believe in really drawing those divisive lines like that. I'll support any good idea for the citizens, for the families, for the businesses, for the taxpayers of the city. I don't care where it comes from. I don't have that much of an ego where if it isn't my idea, it's not going to fly. If you come to me, if anyone comes to me with a great idea that's going to push the city forward, that's going to find those positive answers, I'll work with you. I will definitely support you. I'll be on board 150%. And again, that's one of the things that I feel I can bring to the council. And that's through my experience with working, again, in every neighborhood, working with the block clubs over that couple, 2-3 year period. I'm very confident in my abilities to work with everyone, to bring people to the table, to bring out those fresh ideas and to find positive answers to what's facing the city. So this is something I feel very confident that I can bring.
Good. Let's change it up a bit. You're a karate guy.
Yeah.
We just started. Chris put the Stens TV thing on NiagaraHub, and there was the old high karate commercial. Remember the
Yes,
high karate? Be
yes,
careful how you use it. Right. Tell me about your karate. prowess here? Well, don't show me, just tell
Yeah,
me.
we won't bust anything.
We need that. We need.
I need the furniture intact. When I was 13, I'll preface that. I started
When you were
playing
12.
When I was 12.
Okay.
When I was 3,
Oh,
I started playing the accordion. I'm half Italian, so it's in the handbook. You have to. So
just for the half.
just for the half. So I started playing the accordion and then piano up until the age of 10. When I was between 10 and 11, I got involved in karate. And my dad kind of gave me a choice because, I mean, my father wasn't wealthy. He was a hard-working guy. And back then, I think karate lessons were $7 and guitar lessons were $5, but still, back then, you know, you're going to make a choice, one or the other.
Yeah.
So he gave me the choice. He says, what do you want to do? So at the time, I wanted to get involved in martial arts. So I did karate then, from the time I was probably about 10 or 11 until around 13. Then got involved in rock bands, continued playing guitar and whatnot. When I was 28, I was working on College Avenue. We'll make a long story short, I got run over while I was at work. I suffered nerve trauma to my eyes. They didn't know if my vision was going to come back. I was busted up
wow.
pretty damn good. So part of rehabbing myself was getting involved again in martial arts. So I went to the source. My karate teacher when I was young was a gentleman named Chuck Patino. His instructor was a gentleman who's still on 15th and Pine named Italo Baldessari. I don't know if you know Italo?
No.
Okay, many people around town probably will. So I decided to go to the source. And I started, again, just kind of easing back into it. And it became more of a way of life and a philosophy than, geez, I have my bingo night and I have my bowling night and I have my karate night. So I really immersed myself in the entire philosophy. Started student teaching, and then I received my belt, I'm trying to think, 2002? I think it was around 2002. Prior to that, I got involved in tournament fighting.
Now, when you say your belt,
Yes. You want to see it?
no,
Oh, I have
the
a
color.
belt. I have a belt on now, and
The
it is
color.
black, by the way.
do
But
have-
I do have, yeah, I have
You
my
have the black belt.
Yes,
That's the belt.
yeah, that's when I say when I received my belt.
The belt.
Everything else subsequent to that is
All right.
just kind of working up.
Okay.
But again, prior to that, in the late 90s until around 2003, 2002, 2003, I was a tournament fighter over in Canada because they used to have every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, they used to have money, purse fights, full contact, which I enjoyed. Far more than over here because over here it's a point fighting system. If I pretty much tap you,
That's a point.
it's a point. So it got kind of a little bit on the boring side. So Canada, they're at the time. Now we have the UFC, we have cage fighting matches. At the time, they were a little more lax on their ruling, so they had, like I said, full contact tournament fighting, and I did very well over there. I have a 57-0 record when I walked away. So
Wow.
yes, I'm pretty proud of that.
So you could carry that into the council and settle some things in ways that haven't been settled before. I think that's
Well, I'll be honest.
possibly what's been needed.
Again,
A little bit of
little chop, huh?
scare the crap out of somebody. And, okay.
There you go. But in all seriousness, that philosophy carries with me, and it's a philosophy of discipline and self-control. That is something that will definitely carry with me into the city council. Again, I don't think, and I'm not just talking about the current council, we've seen it for decades. I don't have that ego in place. It's not about me. It's not about alliances for me. It's about getting involved because I care about the city. I want to do what's right for the taxpayers. We've seen, again, for decades, too much wasteful spending and just the decline of what's going on in our city. So it's not that I just want to, I need to get involved to try to correct this, to do what I can to move things in that positive direction. So again, that discipline and I believe my level of self-control, my abilities to, again, work with everyone.
Okay.
I think I can definitely bring a positive element to the city council.
Great. How's the campaign been going so far? Are you knocking on doors?
I've
or
worn out 2
just
pairs of
knocking
shoes.
them
Yeah, knocking through
or
doors.
what?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Knock that, oh, sorry.
Knock on the door, grab you, vote for me. No, it's going very good. I don't have a primary. I'm not primary. I'm right through to the general. So the door-to-door work, I don't want to confuse voters because you're going to have, I'm going off the prime voting list, not just the Republicans. I'm trying to endear myself to Democrats and everyone in between. So I have been going door-to-door certain neighborhoods, but again, I don't want to confuse people because, okay, I met this guy, Russ Vesci. Well, wait a minute, I like what he said. He was on the ballot. No, he's not on the ballot. I don't want to cause that.
Right.
So what I'm doing is kind of waiting until after primary, and then I'll start getting very visible, out there to get things going. But other than that, I mean, it's going good. I'm getting diverse support. My fundraiser back in May, being a Republican, I mean, I had as many, if not more, Democratic people there as Republicans, so I was very encouraged by that because, again, I can see that diverse support. Maybe it's time for...
I think this city's too small to worry about the alliances
it is of party.
Democrat and Republican.
It is.
But some people have to...
They're staunch.
Till they drop,
Yep,
yeah.
and they stay along those lines. I think I put something on Facebook one day, and I kind of put it out there, and you just hit on it. The city's not big enough to really consider those lines. We have to stop thinking in terms of Republicans or Democrats. There's only forwards or backwards, and we've been taking too many steps backwards.
Mm-hmm.
We got to go forward. It's time to move forward now. I mean, that's part of my philosophy, part of my view. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're purple or plaid and you got spikes sticking off the top of your head. If you have the best ideas to move the city forward, if you come up with a plan that, wow, why haven't we thought of that in the past 30 years, we're going to go with it. That's a definite.
Let's say you get in, you do your time, you do 12 terms in office. What's the one thing you want to leave after successfully completing a term or many terms? What's the one thing you'd love to be known for doing in town?
That's maybe what I did, my ideas, or the way I worked on the city council left the city in a better shape than when I found it.
Okay.
That would be the best thing
That's
somebody
fair.
could say, you know what, the guy did good, and things are better now because of his efforts.
Cool. I'm good. You got anything else you want to cover before we
No, I think we're
sign off
good.
for a while? You can come back and give us a little update once you start pounding the doors and
I will do
tell
that.
us what you're learning. You know, what I'd love to hear is not, oh, I talked to 500 people and told them that I'm the best guy. I'd love to hear that, hey, I talked to Agnes Miller and I learned something today that I never knew before that Agnes told me about, and I got to work through it. Those
I will
kind of
do
things
that.
we'd love to hear. What are the people in the streets really saying?
Okay.
Hopefully you can take that to a successful end here. So
I will definitely
stay in
do that.
touch, Russ.
All right, buddy.
Real pleasure to get
Thank
to
you.
know
Me
you.
too.
Thanks.